Okay, we're going to hit some strength loading. I don't know if you're hearing any of the news, but every time I hear, because I see current research all the time, so on what really is going to help you with your brain function, with Alzheimer's, with heart disease, with strength work. Yes, getting stronger and lifting weights. That's where it's at. So here we go, and we're going to get going. So get your weights ready. Get your weights ready, and I'm going to get my little gloves on, and I'm going to be capitalizing again on one of the main things that you can do to help you not fall. Number one is, and I've gone over this before, is standing on one leg. And you see what I'm doing right now? So if you don't have a smaller bench, if you have your chair, I won't have the pad there, I can go up here. So we're going to start with that. See my smaller little bench? So this is specifically for stepping up. Do you see how absolutely solid it is to step on? I would tell you, do not be trying to step on. Most stools are not meant for this. This has a wider base on the wood part of the legs so that it doesn't tip. If you don't have that, not to worry. Turn around here and step up into your chair. So go ahead and start doing that as I get my little pole, because I talk about having your pole all the time, and I'm going to use it here. So I'm turning a little sideways so you see what I'm doing. So I'm going to come here and go tap, 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 tap. See that? Now, I'm putting my whole foot there. This is our warm up. I'm reaching out with a pole. I'm pulling back. So when I pull back, now is when I want to reach back with my elbows as I keep my shoulders down. So that's pretty significant. So take a big breath through the nose and pull back. So those of you who have been logging in with me know that every time I say breathe through your nose, you know what I'm meaning. How do you breathe through your nose? You shut your mouth. Yes. Now, I'm not going fast. And here's what I'm doing. I'm doing a lower level bench. You could just do it on the floor. See? Bring your knee up as if you're going to step and just step forward. Now, when you do that, you got to put the brakes on. How do you put the brakes on? You say rib cage up. You say drop my shoulders. And you bend through the knee and hip. You don't bend your back. So I'm giving you an alternative right now. I'm stepping up and putting the whole foot down. Okay? That's pretty significant. And why is that significant? Because when you do this move, whether you're just walking or whether you're doing a step, see, I have a lower bench and I have a higher one with my chair, my kitchen chair. So at first, if you don't have a lower, and you could actually use this. See, if you don't have a lower, higher, like a bench, just use your pad. Your balance pad. And I'm stepping up. So how do I make sure I'm getting my knee up? I lift my knee. Okay? And I can tell you in this repeated step, the primary thing I would be focused on is number one, breathing in through your nose. Number two, you're not doing a funny little dance that most people do when they think they're going to bring and step out. You know what we do? We do this funny little dance and we go like this. And then we step out. So I'm cautioning you not to do that. You lower your center of gravity. You keep your shoulders down. If you chose to use this pad to land your foot on, be aware that it is very compromising, meaning mushy. So if you're stepping into a pillow, I wouldn't be putting all my weight into that because it will throw you, okay? I'm breathing in through the nose and I'm not doing that funny little dance in order to get my foot turned so that it creates balance, okay? And yeah, we want to do this kind of repeatedly. Then once I'm done with that part, I just step and I pull that heel in, okay? And I step back and I reach out and I say rib cage up and I pull that heel in. So I'll turn around onto the side so you'll see what I'm talking about, because you've gotten up this morning, mostly all of your movement patterns has been forward. You did not do anything that would pull this up. And if you've ever had hamstring injury, hamstring tightness, don't do this one lightly. Don't do it, don't pull it in too tight. So I'm gonna step, reach, say rib cage up, and pull the heel in. Step, reach, rib cage up, pull the heel in, like you're trying to hit your butt. So it's a step, 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 heel in. So at first I'm going to be bending the knee, pulling the heel in toward the hip. It's a step, 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 shift, rib cage up, breath, rib cage up, breath, rib cage up, breath. Why do I keep saying rib cage up? Because the minute you go to pull your heel up, most of you tend to want to crank your neck back and you arch and you lean too far forward. As you can see, that's what I just did. I want to fight that. I want to stay upright. I want to make my back extensors, my gluteal, my hamstrings, and even my shoulders and neck. I want to really give them a chance to straighten up into neutral posture. And I'm just doing this repeatedly. Instead of doing a 10-minute walk around, a 10-minute bike ride, of which if anybody has had physical therapy, you will know that that's what you spend your first 10 to 15 minutes doing. So we're doing this because we're working specific muscles that we're going to be using today, okay? Take a big deep breath. Okay, now I'm gonna take my rod, put it right here. And some of you are not gonna wanna do this, but I'm telling you, when you go to shift and bring your knee up that far, 90 degree, see, right here, see that? When you go that far, it's not a matter of if you're gonna over or under balance and then kind of get off balance. It's a matter of when. So use a pole, put your hand on a wall. Don't lean into it, just have it there. Because if you don't do that, when you get your foot up here, okay, and if you have significant joint issues and or balance issues, once you get your foot this far up and you're resting it on a chair, if you start getting off balance in that position, it's going to be, or you bump your foot or anything like that, it's going to not be pretty. It's just not. And so use your bar, your dowel, whatever that you have, an umbrella, a tennis racket, a golf club, anything like that. I'm not leaning into it. I'm merely putting it right there. I shift, I hip hinge. When I hip hinge, I say rib cage up. I come all the way up here and I'm tapping. And we're going to do some more tapping here in just a minute. Okay. Now, with this leg for me, I can tell you, it is so easy for me to cheat on that leg. And you know how I cheat? I'll show you. Because my knee is tighter, because this is my knee replacement, I tend to think, oh, it's tight right now. So whenever I come to about this level, it's real easy to turn it and slide up like that. You do not want to do that, okay? You're going right past the muscles that you need to work on. So what do? You use your pole. Get another something in your hand over here so that you're not tempted to slide into the base, so to speak. Okay, big breath into the nose. You see how I brought it up further? I brought it up further to bring it down. See that? And I want to do that persistently and with control. Okie dokie. All right. I was trying to see if somebody was telling me they weren't hearing me. Okay. So once I get this straightened out, and if you've done every one of these with me and really worked at trying to get your leg up to a 90 degrees, okay, you're getting warm. I can tell you, you are getting warm. Take a big breath. And see, I have this in my hand. I don't have to use it. Okay, it's there. And whenever I'm working with one leg stepping, whether it's low on a very compliant surface or high into a chair, I always keep this hovering, hoovering, whatever, over the floor. Keep my shoulders down. Take a big breath. Soften my knee that I keep locking. Yeah, I know you do all this. I know. I could start calling names, but I won't. Okay. But if I called you by name, you just know that you are a super slug. And we have to deal with you very kindly and gently. So, couple more, just stay with me, okay? See, I'm having this right here. If I need it, I can put it right down. That's why I don't hold my bar like this. I do not. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Oh dear, okay. Take a big deep breath. So I'm gonna come back here, uh-oh, dropped it. And do a couple more. And I'm gonna pay attention to my movement patterns. Because this little move right now where you're going up to 90 degrees repeatedly will start telling you a lot about how your movement patterns are. You can see if you're over leaning. You can see if you're cheating on your little foot placement and kind of turning and sliding in. Drop your knees, take a big breath, tap right there. Okay, now we're going to get into the front leg muscles, okay? So see that? See that? So here's the deal. I'm doing a one-legged stance, basically, okay? I'm going to pull my toe up, okay? See that? Use this if you need to, but not overuse. And I'm going to do these little taps, okay? See that? So we're going to do this with both legs standing. So we're going to do it right now to get it all warmed up, ready to go. Get okay? Take a big deep breath, drop your shoulders. See how I'm tapping? So I'm not just doing this. I'm bringing that toe all the way up as if I were going to try to touch the toe onto my shin. Of course, we can't do that. But that motion, especially on a chair here, where I can drop my heel and really pull that toe in here. And if you put your hand on the front of your shin, you should be feeling quite a contraction there, okay? And I'm not kidding you. If you do this even 10 times really hard, the 10th time, you're gonna like start fatiguing so much that you're like, I don't think I can do it another couple times. Right here, okay? See this? This is very significant for anybody who's interested in increasing their ankle mobility, their likelihood of tripping. You wanna decrease that. You wanna increase your ankle mobility because I'm strengthening the tibialis anterior muscle. And if you get to 10, especially into the second set of 10 with this, you're gonna feel it burning right here in the front, okay? So don't just stand there and think, oh, that's a nothing thing. Let me wait till she gets to something really important. If you don't have good ankle function, you will be falling. That's a very researched fact, okay? So on a one-legged stance like I'm doing right now, and I pull this toe to my shin, and after I've done some of the alternating knee ups, toe ups, see that? Breath, big breath, pull, right there, pull, pull, big pull, right there. And again, if you keep your pole kind of above the floor, it will give you a balance challenge at the same time. Right here, right there. Keep going. Take a big breath. I can tell you that on this side, my tibialis anterior is much stronger than on my knee replacement side. I know, that's just funny how that works. Take a big breath, drop your shoulders, breath through the nose, pull, 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 pull. Put that down, okay? Now, we're gonna revisit this one in a little bit with weights, and we're gonna be standing on your little pad. So kind of stay with me on that, all right? I have my pole. I'm gonna keep my pole. I don't have my pad on the chair. If you have trouble with hips, then very carefully go ahead and use your pad. Because it's gonna raise you 2 inches, okay? So we haven't done a sit to stand yet. We haven't done any squatting. Give yourself the benefit of the doubt and put the pad on there for the first set. So I'm gonna come right here. I'm looking, I'm going wide as my chair legs. And then I'm gonna come right here and I'm gonna sit. And I'm gonna stand. And I'm gonna sit. And if you wanna really know how you're doing in this move, try to see how many you can do in 30 seconds. Yeah, you may not want to do it right this minute, but that gives a different perspective, especially if you have knee, hip, back issues. This move is targeting those areas. And some of you, as you're doing, I didn't mention it, I didn't say anything about it, I just started doing it. I didn't say anything about breathing, did I? Well, take a notice. As you're coming up, most of you, many of you, are holding your breath. So breathe in now, then you come here and you exhale. So you breathe in, and you exhale, okay? And when you go into that move, see, I have my little bar here. I'm gonna say rib cage up, shoulders down. I'm breathing in, exhale. Yeah, I'm doing the first set of one of the most important moves to keep you from falling, to keep your independence, is a sit to stand. And some of you are like, oh yeah, well, we're gonna do this with weights in just a minute. I usually try to slip that in multiple ways in almost every workout, whether or not you've noticed that. So here's the deal. So as I'm going into this and I'm coming back out of this, I didn't say one word about where to push in your feet, did I? I know it. Some of you have not been pushing into your heels. And the minute you come to here, if you're not specifically pushing into the heels and shining your taillights, you are rounding your lower back. I'm just telling you, that's what you're doing. So big breath and push into the heels. You'll be amazed at how much more controlled and better a sit to stand does and works on your back rather than rounding that back. Take a breath. Yeah, we're at the end of the first set. Take a breath. I know I'm not counting specifically, but I kind of know. Watch your knees. You don't want to be caving with your knees, okay? Keep your chin tucked. Okay, last one. Take a big breath. Yeah. And come back up. Okie dokie. Now, I'm going to go ahead and pick up my weight. And I don't know if you're noticing this, but I have my lower stool. I think that this is about an 8-incher. Okay. I have a 2-incher right here. My little pad. I think you can see, I'm moving back a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. And I have my chair. So chairs typically are about an 18-inch drop. That's usually what that is, okay? So I have 3 heights now that I can challenge myself with. You would have 3 if you did your chair, your balance pad, and the floor, okay? Let's say, because you don't have one of these, that's fine. Do the floor, okay? So now I'm gonna come over here and I'm gonna go ahead and pick up my light weights. For me, lightweight is 6. Okie dokie. Drop your shoulders. And I'm gonna just feel the load. See that? I'm gonna feel the load. I'm gonna come over here to my lowest height, but I'm not doing it yet. Do you see what I'm doing? I'm stepping side to side. See that? I'm working in the frontal plane, so to speak. I'm working frontal and sagittally because my hands are going this way in a hammer curl. Then I'm working across the frontal plane. See that? Okay, here's the deal. When you start doing even a lightweight for you in a simple hammer curl, many of you are turning your feet, number 1. And number 2, when you do this curl, you're throwing your elbow, is what I call it. Get those elbows in. As you step side to side, get those elbows in and you keep your shoulders down and you step 1 and 2. See, I'm not stepping wide. I'm wanting to do a tiny hip hinge and I'm wanting to go side to side without blocking my knees. So I want to keep my knees soft. I want to stay rib cage up. I do a tiny hip hinge as I step. And if you're not careful, you're going to be throwing an elbow. Don't throw the elbow. And typically you'll throw it on the side that gives you trouble. Or even a wrist. If you have a wrist that gives you trouble. Usually that'll be the side that you'll throw your elbow. And why do you do that? Well, you do that because it's an attempt to use the stronger muscles, the deltoid, okay? So that's why I'm cautioning you with it. Okay, so here my light weights are. I'm gonna step over to my little chair, okay? I'm gonna step as wide as my chair legs. I have light weights. I have a 6 and a 6, okie dokie. I'm gonna come down, and at this point, I'm gonna stop and think a minute. Make sure that I am extending my back. Keep my chin tucked, shoulders down, and I'm gonna come back up. So even though these are light weights, I've just added 12 pounds to my entire spine, to my entire body frame. So you can add up whatever you picked up. Okay, so this is lightweight time, is time to straighten posture. So drop your shoulders, make sure that you are not pulling your knees to the center or they're going out to the side when you do this sit to stand. We're gonna be back here with heavier weights in just a moment. The first set we did with no weights, body weight. Second set, light weights. Breath, keep your chin tucked. Make sure you're pushing into the heels. Big breath and exhale. Big breath and exhale. Okay, 2 more. Kathy's probably gonna yell at me. Okay, here we go. 1 more. She might be in her PT. Okay, and here we are. Now before I change weights, I'm gonna hit the back of those legs again. So what am I gonna do? I'm gonna step forward and I'm gonna just pull that heel. See that? See, I'm just gonna put my waist right here. I'm gonna pull that heel. And I'm gonna pull those elbows. That's all I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna go pull, pull. Keep your knees soft. Keep your knees soft. Pull, 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 pull. I know, you're probably hearing all that noise. It's okay. Woo. Okay, step back. Get ready. You're gonna pull, and you're gonna pull that heel. You're gonna go like this. Pull the heel. Do not lack your leg. Pull. Pull. Breath. Pull. Breath. Sorry about that. Pull. And come back in. Good. Now I'm going to go over here. Put my light weights down. Go up to 9s. We're going to really give your weights a chance to be used today. Okay, so here's my 9s. Take a big breath. I'm going to go like this. And I'm going to go like this. See that? No problem. Now, let me caution you. I'm going to encourage you to put your foot in your pad, or let's say you have a lower ledge of some sort, like a curb, like an item that's not going to move on you. If that's the case, then you can put your foot on that. If that's not the case, then you either put your foot on this lower pad or you just put it on the floor. Now, if you want to jump ahead and you want to put your foot all the way up here, well, God bless you. You go ahead and do that. But I'm cautioning you that when you have weights now, and now I have 9 and 9, and you go put your leg up that high, okay, you got to be really careful. So that's my caution to you. I'm going to put mine on this lower one right there. So maybe have a lower little stool that's very firm and sturdy. Good, do that. So here I am. But here's what you should notice on my supporting leg on the floor. I am not turning my foot, okay? It's straight on, and I'm gonna come 1 and 2, and keep my elbows in, keep my elbows in, keep my elbows in, breath, 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 breath. Hang in, keep your chin tucked. Breath, 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 and down. Switch. Woo. Make sure you don't turn your foot. Lean in from your hip. Drop your shoulders. Turn your hands. And now we go into a regular bicep curl. Don't let your knee turn in on you. Keep it straight out. Lean in, keep your chin tucked, because this is training not only your arms, it's training your shoulders. Right there, breath, keep your chin tucked, I'm leaning in, breath, 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 and then I'm gonna come down right there. I'm gonna step off. Okay, you can do the same, the next set with the same height of your stool. However, I'm gonna choose to come up here, and I'm throwing my caution. Either be by a wall or just use one hand at a time, because when you go, if you get off balance, when your leg is this high and you're working with your arms and your hands aren't free, you get panicked when you start over or under balancing, like you're going to lose your balance. So if you choose a higher, be very cautious. Here we go. And I'm going to go push. I'm going to go push. See how I'm leaning in? See how I'm leaning in? I'm almost getting to where I'm parallel with the floor, see? So I'm pushing, pushing, pushing. Shoulders are down, rolling in. Take a breath. Take a breath. Breath. And breath. Then I'm going to come back. I'm going to take that foot off. And I'm gonna switch. So why am I having you get your foot up there if it's that precarious? Because it's a superior way to train your balance, number one. Number two, you are working your hip mobility, flexibility tremendously when you get up to this level. So as I'm here, do you see how I'm leaning in from my hip? My toes are straight. You can have a wider stance. That might help. Keep my chin tucked. Gonna push back, pull my shoulder blades in. Then I'm gonna go right back into it. Push back. Push back. Rib cage up. Chin tucked. Big breath. Don't lock your knee. Don't lock your knee. Don't lock your knee. Breath. Breath. Go, 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 and come back down. Nice. Now I'm going to stand right here in front of my chair. Not done with that. I want my feet to be as wide as my chair legs. Number one. Now I have 18 pounds that I'm going to take with me. Are you ready? See this little work? See this little thing that I'm doing right here? I'm taking my chin tucked. I'm shifting my weight to my heels, and I'm extending my back. And I do 2 or 3 of these before I go all the way down. Because I've added the weight load. Number one. Number two, it's right here that most of us will start rounding our back in order to sit down. And sometimes that happens because you've got a wonky joint. Generally, it happens because you got a wonky back, especially lower back, because you haven't trained to keep your back in extension. Heels, keep your chin tucked, go down, 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 down. See that? I know it. We're going to hold down there for a little bit. Take a big breath. Get ready. Push into your heels. Pay attention. When you start to come to your loading, some of you are going to intuitively, you are going to do it. You're going to push your knees in. Don't do that. Push into the heels. Shine your taillights. And come up. And make sure you're trying to push as much on one heel as the other. We tend to shy away from putting pressure in the tricky hip, the tricky foot, the tricky knee, okay? So do it slowly, it's okay. Drop your shoulders, here we go. And you're up. Take a breath as you go down, and exhale as you're coming up. Breath, and exhale as you're coming up. And as you're coming up, really try to put all the work into those legs. Breath. Right there. Here we go. Breath. Right there. Here we go. Breath. Just a couple more. Don't let your knees buckle. Make sure you're breathing. Breathing in right here. Exhaling right here. Okay, one more. Okay, ready? Don't come up. Just hover right here. Just hover and come one. Keep your butt low. Keep your butt low. Butt low. Breath. 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 Heels. 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 And up. Woo! I know. Should have got your attention. Okay. Now, I'm going up one more. 12 for me. So now I've got 24. Totally. Okie dokie. Open your hands. Close your hands. Open your hands. Close your hands. Stretch them a little. Stretch them a little. It's called recovery. Okay? You've been hanging on to these weights. Take a few seconds to let them recover. And how you do that? Open, close, swing your hands from your shoulder, and then pull. See? Pull. That way they don't get all cramping. By the way, if you're somebody that hangs on to a racket, a garden tool, a golf club, that's a good strategy to follow. Opening and closing, stretching those hands back. Okay, here I am, and I'm ready to do my tap outs. But first, I'm gonna start with them right here in front of me. I'm gonna bring the shoulders up, I'm gonna bring them back, and then I'm gonna push them down. Now, as I'm standing my ground here, in front of my little stepping pads, I'm gonna keep my rib cage really up. I'm gonna soften my knees a little. I'm gonna really pull my rib cage up because I'm gonna lift those shoulders all the way up, drop them down. Because I'm doing this against 12 pounds and 12 pounds, which you can add that up. And that's coming right down my spine. Take a big breath. Shoulders back down. Shoulders back down. Yeah, I could be on the balance pad doing one-legged challenges, but I really want you to concentrate on getting those shoulders up and then pushing them down. Keeping your chin tucked. Okay, now I'm going to turn to the side. You can check my particular lineup here with my chin. My ear has to be over my shoulder. We're gonna take a big breath, drop her down, take a big breath, drop her down, take a big breath, drop her down. Woo, and this weight is hanging off my fingertips. I'm not gripping, my knees are soft, but my rib cage is super lifted. Rib cage up, big breath. I got about 2 or 3 more. Breath, here we go. Breath, here we go. Breath. Okay. Now, with these 12 pounds, which I'm gonna pull them right up here, right up here. We've done this before. I put variations on it all the time, as you know. Okay, I'm gonna hang on to it with my thumbs, put my fingers here to the front. If you do not have a lower bench, which I'm gonna use here in just a second, then you're gonna step up onto your 2-inch little balance pad. Let me caution you, do not get too big for your britches on this. You're gonna think this thing is so simple that you don't have to think about it. That would be wrong. I'm gonna step and step because I just added 24 pounds to my spine, to my frame, and I'm gonna switch lead legs each time. So now I'm gonna come here and I'm gonna come here, okay? And I'm gonna go back down same way. So I'm doing a couple of these. I'm gonna go here and here. See, I changed lead legs. Okay, drop your shoulders, tight tummy. Number 1, with this poundage or whatever you've chosen on your shoulders, and you only have 2 inches of a lift, but if right here you happen to catch your toe, that could be not a pretty thing. So I'm cautioning you, don't take this and do this move without really thinking through your movement pattern. You keep rib cage up, you step on, you step off, you step on, you step off. Now I'm gonna keep it there and I'm gonna turn around here to my chair because I think most of you have the pad and you have a chair. So you're gonna hang on here, bring your elbows down, and I'm gonna act like I might step up on that chair, but then I don't. See that? It's a thing with your mind. So caution, caution, caution. Shift. Knee is soft. Big breath. Bring the other knee up. And now you're on it. Then you're gonna bring it up and down. Then you're gonna shift. Then you're gonna bring it up. And the only thing I didn't say is soften your knee. Soften your knee. Shift. Bring it up. Take a big breath. Bring it down. Okay? So, in class, those of you who have been with me for several years, we used to actually, with our weights on a chair in class, come to this point and step up. Some of you remember that. Well, we're going to get some of the same benefit, but not the risk. Shift, knee is soft, lift, come back down. Shift, ribcage up, big breath, bring that leg all the way up and bring it back down. I got 2 more. Shift, bring it up, bring it down. Here we go. Shift, bring it up and back down. Shift, bring it up and back down. Shift, bring it up and back down. Now turn around. Careful, careful on this next one. My weight are in the same position. I'm gonna go wide. I've practiced this. I'm gonna sit down with the weights right here. So I'm gonna come right here and sit. Yeah, I know. Hold them in place. Hip hinge, breath, and exhale. Take a big breath and sit. Here we go. Breath, hip hinge, and up. I'm gonna do 3 more. Do them with me. Breath, exhale, push into those heels. Come back down, heels. Drop your chin. Breath, exhale, heels. Come back down. Breath, and heels, and back up. Now, a little hop, and your weights are loaded into your hands. See that? So, started, I'm gonna go up in weight because I am gonna pick up a 15 here in just a second. Well, so what I want you to do now is, again, another idea of how to make this part of your leg stronger. So how do you do that? Okay, I don't have a freestanding wall. If I had a wall, I would put you up against the wall. See, here's my wall. See that? So I'm going to be using that. So I'm pretending this is a wall. So I'm just lightly leaning into it. And so what am I doing? You see my feet? You see my feet? So I'm leaning with my shoulders into the wall. I'm going to step out. And I'm going to pull my toes up. See, I can put my hands back here to stabilize. See that? Drop your shoulders. I want you to step out a bit. So you're leaning into your chair or your wall. And look at my toes. Yeah. See that? Pull, 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 pull. Yes, both toes together. Pulling, pulling, pulling. Big breath. Pulling. Should be getting your attention. The fronts of those chins should be kicking you. Breath, breath, breath. I can't do it anymore because these are burning. Yes, these you should feel being engaged. So if you didn't quite feel that, just put your foot out here and pull your toe on purpose and you'll feel this contract. It's just one more thing that you can do almost anywhere to help you function better, okay? And with less pain. When you do this, don't significantly drop your hip. And so how do you not do that? You soften this knee. See that? Yeah, just like that. Okay, final push. I'm gonna do 15 pounds, okay? I'll see if I make it to 18. I don't know. Now, I'm going to use, again, my little chair, but I'm going to use either the ground or I'm going to use this low pad. See that? So, I'm going to get my 15 pounders. Okie dokie. And into it. So here I am. Now, 15 pounds, I'm going to do a few shoulders to ears with my knees what? Yes, my knees are soft. Breath. So breath in right now. When you lift, you exhale. Bring them back down. Breathe in. Exhale. I know it. I know. Okay, are you ready? I'm going to step up on the pad. I'm carrying 30 pounds, 15 and 15. Now I'm going to step off the front like that. Not entirely, because I'm going to go back. Do you know that most people who fall walking around outside ambulating, they don't have trouble losing their balance stepping up on the curb. They lose their balance stepping off the curb. I know. Okay, you've probably done it. So, number one, don't grip your weights. Let them hang at your fingertips, especially if you've chosen a heavy weight. Drop your shoulders, rib cage up, keep your chin tucked. I'm gonna step off. I'm darting my eyes and I'm bending that knee that's on the pad. Switch, and I'm coming down. And I'm coming down with my heel first. Why? Because that will bring forth your, if they're called eccentric or elongation muscles that are very important in ankle and in leg work for balance. So I'm going to soften my knee. When I go down, my heel's going first. And that's why I work so much on pulling that toe up. Because many of us, we toe down when we step off a curb. And no wonder you catch your heel, okay? So bring your heel down and then come back. Bring your heel down and then come back. Bring your heel down and come back. Bring your heel down and come back. Okay? Now come right off the back edge. Okay? And I got one foot on and I got one foot off. And I'm going to lean in. And here we go. Pull, just like you're trying to pull rope. Just like that. Take a breath. Make sure your toes are forward, both of them. Exhale. Breathe in. Exhale. Breathe in. Exhale. Breathe in. Exhale. Breathe in. Exhale. Step off. Step on. One more set. Make sure your toes are forward. And we're going to go pull that rope and come back. So it's a push-pull. Breath. Knees are soft. Shoulders are down. Pull. Big breath. Pull. Big breath. Pull. Two more, two more, two more. Come on, one more, one more. Here we go. And step off. All right. Okay, I didn't have so much going on here. I'd keep going, but here's what you want to do. Woo. Split stance, pendulum forward, sagittal plane, and then we'll pendulum in the frontal plane. So here I am. And then I'll switch and I'll go this way. And when I go this way, I'm not lifting. See, I don't go much higher than what the pendulum action can make my shoulder blades do. See that? Take a breath, keep your chin tucked. Breath, keep your chin tucked. Breath, keep your chin tucked. Go out here, thumbs are up. Come right into that W. See that? My knees are soft. I'm going to try to take my hands and just pat my shoulders, my deltoids. Okay? Some of you, it's very difficult because you're round shouldered so much that you're going like this, and it's hard for you to bring your hands to your deltoids, but just keep trying to work on it. So we did a lot this morning that try to address that kind of an issue. Take a big deep breath, and there's nothing I like better than having somebody use a golf club, a powel, a dowel. We used to do it all the time in class. And you see what I'm doing? Oh my goodness. Walk around your little house with your shoulders down. See? Shoulders down. And it's right at the top of my hips. Just like that. And just walk around like that with your shoulders down. Don't let your shoulders creep up. And then you can just do all kinds of little turns. So you can keep your feet stationary. Then you can pivot. Oh my goodness, this will help your back to be released. And whenever you come, when we're done here, and you come off of this, just take stock of how you feel leaving the class than when you first came in. Okay? Yeah, I know. I know, some of you are saying relieved, I got it done. I'll just ignore that. Anyway, I hope that you changed your weights. I'm gonna keep pushing you to do that, but always, always be safe with your positioning. Okie dokie. Okay, well, sorry, all the noise, but anyway, it is what it is.